lady was dating this girl for 5 to 6 years, right? She ended up getting pregnant. I signed the birth certificate because the dad did not want to. Our relationship did not work. She ended up dating the baby daddy again. And now they put me on child support for that kid. Crazy.
Hello, this is Old Man Jehu, where I talk about news, culture, and Bible prophecy. So, anyways, there's an interesting, well, you saw this lady here, and I thought what she said was interesting because it reminds me of a story that I heard recently. So, anyways, you heard the lady, the young lady talk. She said that she signed the birth certificate, and now she has to pay child support and the lady that actually had the child is back with the father. So she's responsible for child support, but the father is is with the child. That's crazy. That is crazy. And this kind of shows me how our society does not value fathers. They really don't. And this reminds me of a story that I heard from somebody I know whose immediate family member had something like this happen. So anyways, their immediate family member was a woman, or is a woman, sorry. And this woman had a baby. And while she had a baby, I guess she was married, quote unquote, married to another woman. Okay? Now, in this situation, the other woman who didn't give birth tried to sign the birth certificate as the mother. But the hospital would not allow it. They said you have to sign for the father. Only the biological mother can sign for the mother. Now, I don't know if it's that way everywhere. And I just heard this story. I didn't prove it. But this sounds like, but this person's not a liar, and he was just talking. It was his immediate family member. We was just talking. He wasn't trying to really make a point about it, about a political point when it comes to this. But I just thought this to me exemplifies how we don't value masculinity. Now, we don't really value femininity either. Don't get me wrong. We don't value femininity either, but we don't value masculinity in this culture. This is why you hear a lot of women talk about, I don't need a man, or talk about, or when they have a kid, a lot of times they say that, some of them even have the sentiment that if they have enough money, they don't need a man. Or, yeah, even if women who make a lot of money be like, I don't really need a man because I make enough money. Now, you don't really, or I'm strong and independent because I can do it by myself. Now, you don't really hear men talk like this. In the same, excuse me, in the same way women do. You might hear men say, I don't. There's always going to be some of the opposite sex who say that I don't really need the opposite sex. There's always going to be some. But when men check out, it's normally because they don't want to deal with the drama that's associated with a lot of women versus I don't want what a woman has to offer. Like when a woman says she don't want a man, she don't need a man, she says she don't need what a man has to offer. As though they reduced us to a paycheck. And this is why they say, like, the government is the father. Like, a woman doesn't need a father. Like, the woman doesn't need a man because they have that paycheck. Because men have actually helped in this because we say that we're the protectors and providers. We reduced ourselves to that. But we're a lot more than that. We provide structure, leadership, order, stability, vision. Like, if you look in the community and look, if you want to know if there's a lack of masculinity there, you'll see a lot of times you'll see a lot of the buildings run down and a lot of crime there. So with that being said, I think this is another reason why I think there should be DNA testing at birth. Now, obviously, this lady didn't need DNA testing to know that she wasn't the father of the child. But I think I think that it should be either only the biological parents should sign for the birth certificate, or anybody could sign for the birth certificate. I don't think it should be like only the biological mother should sign, but anybody can sign as a father. That don't sit right with me. So if the biological mother is the only person who can sign that for the mother, then you need to do the DNA testing for the father. This is just another reason, outside of many other reasons. Now, if it's not like this in your state, if it's different in your state, then okay. But this is what I've heard where it was like, at least in this city in my state. Okay, when it comes to the lesbian couple I mentioned. So yeah, I just thought this was interesting, and it's just further confirms what I think about the West. The West in general, like the West is kind of operates as Mystery Babylon, because Mystery Babylon in Revelations chapter 19 and 18, it describes herself as like it's her saying, "I'm a widow, I am not a widow," and so forth, meaning that it's almost like the saying, "I don't need a man," because in Mystery Babylon was rich and filled with sorceries and every evil thing, which you find in a lot of places where they like fathers. You find every evil thing, like a lot of the trans stuff in the same sex. This like the gay stuff is pushed where a lack of masculinity is there, because men usually stand up against that stuff. It's the women who normally go along with that, not really the men. I mean, the women go along with it more than the men. We'll put it like that. But anyways, I just found this interesting. And that's really all I have to say about that. Yeah, this just further reminds me that America and the West is like Mystery Babylon. They don't really value masculinity. They're offended by masculinity. They also offended by genuine femininity too, because Mystery Babylon represents it's like a Jezebel. It's like a Jezebel nation, and Jezebel is like the evil archetype of a female. But anyways, that's really all I have to say about that. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Peace.